morning, students. As we have been studying history, in this topic we shall see the reign of Bindusara, who was the son of the great ruler Chandragupta Maurya. So let's begin. Chandragupta was succeeded by his son Bindusara. In classical Sanskrit and other indigenous sources, he is referred to by different names such as Amitradhar, Mahasen, etc. Ancient Greco-Latin texts refer to him as Amitrochates. Nothing much is known about his rule. He might have maintained friendly relations with his neighboring states. During his reign, the Mauryan Empire extended as far as Mysore in the south. Only the region of Kalinga and the kingdoms on the extreme south of India were not part of his empire. Bindusara maintained friendly relations with Greek rulers in Asia and Africa. Some of them were Antiochus of Syria, Ptolemy of Egypt, Magas of Cyrene, etc. Bindusara ruled for about 25 years and kept intact whatever he inherited from his father. In about 272 BC, he was succeeded by his son and the most famous of the Mauryan, Asoka. However, most of the sources of that time suggest that he might have ascended the throne of Magdha not before 269 BC. Sources. Many sources are available to know the facts about all them. The Indica by Megasthenes and the Arthashastra by Kautilya are the two main sources of information on the Mauryas. From the Indica, we get the information of political, social and economic conditions of the time. The Arthashastra is a book on politics and the art of governance. It deals with the political and military administration of the Mauryas. The Mudra Rakshas, a play by Vishakha Dutt, The Rock and Pillar Edict of King Asoka, writings of Greek and Latin authors of that time, such as Plutarch, Strabo, Justin, Pliny, etc. The inscriptions and coins are another valuable source for us about the extent of empire, development of Indian architecture, trade, social and economic conditions of the Maurya. Asoka. Asoka is regarded as one of the greatest rulers not only in the history of India but that of the entire world. As a young prince, Asoka was brilliant, ambitious and reckless. He ruled from his capital Patliputra. Revolts in Ujjain and Takshila were crushed by him. Like his grandfather Chandragupta Maurya, Ashoka followed the policy of expansion. Kalinga War. It was the turning point in the life of Ashoka. When Ashoka came to the throne, Kalinga was the only major kingdom which was unconquered. Kalinga was strategically situated. The route to South India and Southeast Asia, both by land and sea, passed through it. He was determined to conquer Kalinga as it would aid to the prosperity of the Mauryan Empire. In 261 BC, Ashoka marched against Kalinga and conquered it after a fierce battle. The Kalinga War was one of the most important historical events during the reign of Ashoka. He was moved by the massive slaughter and bloodshed. The death, destruction, and suffering that he saw made him sad. So he resolved not to fight another war. He decided to conquer the poor people not by violence and force, but by love and compassion. After the Kalinga War, Ashoka embraced Buddhism. It became a world religion due to Ashoka's effort. He also ended forced labor. Ashoka maintained friendly relations with states across Asia and Europe. He also sponsored Buddhist missions to a number of countries. He ruled for nearly 40 years. He was one of the most successful and famous monarchs in Indian history. Ashoka was also known as Priyadasi or Priyadarshi. Ashoka's Dhamma. Dhamma is a Prakrit form of the Sanskrit word dharma, which means religious duty. After shunning violence, Ashoka accepted Dhamma, Vijaya, that is conquest through Dharma. The edicts of Ashoka gave us his ideas about Dhamma. Ashoka's Dhamma was mainly influenced by Buddhism. It was based on tolerance, non-violence, and respect for elders. The main principles of Dhamma are outlined below. To live together in peace and harmony, to speak the truth, to respect other religions, to follow the path of ahimsa, that is non-violence and non-injury to all living creatures, to show charity of the poor and be kind to all. Masters should be kind to their servants. Children should respect and obey their elders. Ashoka undertook many welfare measures. The welfare of the people was Ashoka's main cursor. So, up till here, we have read this chapter, this topic. Rest we shall discuss in the next video with other more details. Till then, goodbye.